But how about after they've tried everything?
Yeah, I actually.
Then where do you go?
The first year,
Because I agree.
I went full blown, have whatever you want, year one for me at one of my establishments. And I feel like I was giving back to the servers. I was giving back to the front of the house, giving back to whoever, but then they kind of took advantage of it. So then I kind
I
of cut
remember
it.
a few people.
Yeah.
Restaurant Punk, what's up? Restaurant Punk.
What the hell just happened? Jesus.
Wow.
How is everybody?
Friggin' Yanni. Good. How are you?
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm
Fantastic.
good.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
So I'm going to jump right into this one.
Jump on in.
This has a part A and part B.
I can't wait.
Should a restaurant give free food to the employees every shift? And B, should the restaurant comp free food if an employee comes in and eats at your establishment?
Well, what
How
do you know?
think it should work? Because I know Nico feels differently than I do. I'm not quite sure what you feel, Liz.
I feel that your employees, while they're working, that they should get a free meal only because, or at the very least, 50% off. Because if you want them to sell your food, they need to know what it tastes like. So I worked at a restaurant that was a higher priced place. And they gave like maybe 20% discount. And I'm thinking, I'm not spending the money on that. Not for a summer. So I never bought the food. I did eat there once before. So it was challenging for me to sit there and try to sell the food. And I didn't know what half of it tasted like. So I would go by what I was watching, what was popular with other guests and what they ordered.
Okay.
I just think if you're you should at least give them 50%. How do you want them to sell your product if they don't know what it tastes
Well,
like?
that's the thing, because I feel like places where I work in Philly, they wouldn't give them plates of food. We would make a staff meal for everybody,
Right.
which could be, I don't know, spaghetti and marinara. And we'd make 2 sheet pans of it or hotel pans, and everybody could eat as much as they wanted, rather than giving them something off the menu or something along those lines. I know I've gone into that fine dining establishment before and ate dinner, and one time they comped me. One time they gave me 20% off. They change it up every time. I know when people come to, if I'm running a restaurant and one of my employees comes in, maybe on a date or maybe with his mom or what, I always comp their meal. But then sometimes how about if they come in with 6 people? When they come in with 8 people, do you send out an appetizer? Do you not? Like, I feel like there's different scenarios for the type of restaurant that you're in. How many guests come with maybe? I feel like it's different with a 10 top or a 2 top.
I feel like we kind of somewhat touched on the subject, the part B part at least, about discounts in another episode.
Okay.
But going back to the first one, I feel like all employees should eat everything on the menu if they're new, especially for the place that does change their menu like I do twice a year. You have to have them try everything out so they know what it tastes like, so they can describe it better in flavor or to the consumer. And even if somebody doesn't like something, they can at least give an idea of what it's like.
Okay. But how about after they've tried everything?
Yeah, I actually,
then where do you go?
the first year,
Because I agree.
I went full blown, have whatever you want, year one for me at one of my establishments. And I feel like I was giving back to the servers. I was giving back to the front of the house, giving back to whoever, but then they kind of took advantage of it. So then I kind
I
of cut
remember
it.
a few people.
Yeah. So then I kind of cut it down to every time there's something new, or if it's a brand new menu, you're more than welcome to try everything once. And then I'd make a specialty little menu that you can order from that wasn't too crazy. Like you couldn't order the lobster all the time or,
Right,
things of that
course.
nature. So,
How do you keep track? Do you keep a log of who?
well, you tell your
Nico's
kitchen.
very trusting.
Yeah, I am very trusting,
No,
but I
this
usually
is the
tell the
first
kitchen
lobster.
and I give the kitchen, this is the list that they can order from. And then they know that they can order from. And if they wanted to order something that was on that list for the more higher price items, then they would have to pay at least 50% is what I said.
Okay.
So I'm not trying to take it away from them. And honestly, sometimes even if they did like a really great night, I can say, you can have anything off the menu as
But
a
that's
thank
coming
you.
from a fine dining establishment now.
Correct.
Now, if you're now running one of the George's place, the original one on
Correct.
the beach, are you taking that same?
No.
No.
Unless I do a special, but don't forget dinners they have some pricey items on the dinner menu. So it
That's
would
true.
kind of fall in the same route.
So for breakfast and lunch, you're cool.
Yeah, you can
get
have whatever you want.
Get whatever you want. Okay.
as long as you're not eating during a shift, like the middle of a shift, like either right before shift starts or at the end of the shift.
All right.
You know
I
what I'm
agree with that. If you're working in the restaurant,
Correct.
try everything. And then after that, have a little menu. Now, how
Correct.
about if employees start coming into your establishment? Somebody that works for you or a sister or brother restaurant. How do you treat that?
For me personally, if I know if they've been there for the company or they've worked with me for a while, I would give them pretty much a full comp just for their meal. Like if they're bringing friends or family, I don't touch that.
Okay.
But if it's like a special occasion, like one of the servers that's been
My
working
mom's
for me
birthday.
well, I mean, I would never charge you, but if a server came in and they've been there for a while and you brought their mom in, yeah, I would do a little bit extra just to show appreciation. Like I know your mom came in, it's her birthday, blah, 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 blah. But
So that's us coming from small.
Exactly.
How does it work in corporate now?
Yeah.
Like where you come from or where you've worked before?
It's 20%.
Oh, it's like a standard no matter what.
That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking, so as a server, if someone gave me 20% or more, 50% I think is fair. Every meal, whether I'm eating at work or I'm coming in. And just for my meal, I think 50% is fair, even if it's an expensive meal. Would I prefer to have a free meal for my shift? Of course. But I would be okay with, certain dishes, you get 50%, everything else is free for your shift. I think that's fair. If you set the standard, because once you start saying, well, I'm going to trust you, and depending if something's new, depending how long you worked here, that's just too confusing. If you made it straight across the board, what the percentages are, and like if you come in, it's just for you, either you get it free or you get it half off. So everyone knows.
So is it just for you, or let's say you and your mom go in, will they take it off for your mom and the whole check?
So for a company I work for, it's 20% off the whole check, and that includes the fine dining establishments.
That's way different.
It's huge.
For everybody at the table.
I don't utilize it ever because I don't eat out. I just don't. It's a lot of money. I just think it's wasteful. I could just cook it.
Yeah, I feel like on another episode you brought that up. And
Yeah. I'd rather spend my money on other things.
Yeah.
Like food is just so fleeting. It goes in and comes out. I mean, really.
Restaurant punk. Quote us on that.
I'm just saying, like it's. I mean, you have that moment, you taste it, you enjoy it, but it doesn't stay with you. I mean, I'd rather have something tangible, or I'd rather have something that's making me money. That would be the two things I'd spend my money on.
The commodity of people needing to eat and your mom's birthday, wanting to take her out and treat her is, kind of a different aspect of it. You right?
Well, the goal is this is the plan. This is what you do.
It's an experience.
Do tell.
It's an experience.
You keep your friend circle really small so you don't have to get subjected to going out to all these dinners and wasting money on food. I'm just saying.
Keep it small.
But anyway, as an employee, I think it's just easier if you keep it consistent. You said these are the rules. This is what you get. I don't think you should be comping as a habit the entire meal for your employees if they come in with their family, even if they come in with their mom. That's just how I feel, because people will take advantage of it. And when you're not there, like, oh, well, he gave it to me that time. You don't know what happens when you're not there.
I've definitely come across people that did that.
They're competent for each other when you're not there.
Well, yeah.
Just let it be the rule, You're
trying to trust
I'm okay. Don't comp it. If you want to send them out a nap, send them out a dessert.
I think that's better.
Grab their coffees. I'm cool with that. And I didn't learn that until like 6 years into YV, because I was comping everybody. I was so used to, I see regulars and they work somewhere, but they'd be sending me people too. So it's kind of like
you feel good. You feel like a sense of power.
Concierge of a big hotel or a bartender at a busy bar or whatnot, and I know they would, because it'd be like, oh, this person so-and-so told us to come here for breakfast or told us to come here for dinner. And I kind of want to repay that somehow.
Of course.
And I know some of the servers want to do the same thing to people, but I feel like that's a fair thing to do. Appetizers and desserts.
So employees, percentage are free. For anyone else, regulars, family members, people that are sending you other people, appetizer, dessert. I just think let that be the rule.
I feel like if you make it a standard, I don't know. I think I'm horrible.
I like rules.
I fall off the bandwagon all the time.
Yeah,
I'm like free food for you, free food for you.
Because you feel good that you're giving something back that you can.
I do, and to certain people too that I've known for so long. I don't know. It feels right. I know it's probably not the smartest business thing to do all the time, but I feel like you should set a standard, and you're absolutely right.
Well, that just shows that your businesses are very successful, and you have the capability of doing that, as opposed to you having an empty restaurant all the time and just giving away free
that's
stuff.
True
You know what
too.
I'm saying?
Yeah, if you have an empty restaurant, don't give away free food.
I just think you really have to pay attention to a lot of things. There's a lot of things that are happening. If you have very gray rules, people are gonna whatever that gray line is, they're going to go way past it. Like 10 miles past it. So you have to rein it in somehow.
Well, especially if you have somebody that does it on a regular and you get a new employee and they see them doing it, and then they start getting a little loose with it and a little looser.
Well, that's what I'm saying is the new employee comes in, you have to have them try everything now
Absolutely.
too. So it has to be, they have to try everything, and I don't feel comfortable charging them. Kind of like another episode about having you go out and buy your own t-shirt for the company for your first time. But I'm just saying, like, it's just one of those things that, you're giving back still, you're not, I don't know.
I mean, I liked it, with like George, he does free meals. I don't know if he still does. I know at one point he did.
I feel like all the George's places do the free meals for breakfast and lunch. And dinner?
Some people,
I would say.
You can catch some people taking advantage of it. They'll eat 3 times in a shift. And, you gotta say
or
this
they
and you're
come in,
overdoing
they get
it.
the food, and before they leave, they get the food.
And my one rule is no to-goes.
Yeah. No to-goes, yeah.
Yeah, you can't just grab like 3 things to take with you. To
Well,
eat
I
home.
knew
That's
there
your
was,
shift meal. You
Right.
have
an
to eat it
employee
here.
that I worked with in Philadelphia. They worked front of the house and I worked kitchen. And she's like, I always look forward to, because I remember somebody did the same staff meal like 3 days in a row. And you could take some
Yeah.
home because there's always leftover.
Mhm.
But she's like, yeah, this is the only time I eat during the day. So I really look forward coming to work because
That's sad.
she didn't want to spend money on food. She didn't have time to cook at home, microwave meals and
Gotcha.
stuff. So that was her only fresh food
Right.
during
Homemade
the
meal.
week. And she
Yeah.
would work there 6 days a week. And that I never thought of it. Like people rely on the staff meal just for food during
Well, that's really sad.
life. No, it's
That's
true.
Yeah.
That was, and that's the only person I knew of that's ever said it out loud. So I can't even imagine how many people don't say it out loud because they don't want you to know.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I know I'm in George's place in
Every time she does that
courthouse.
little-
When she gets all sneaky like that,
gets
you know it's going to be a good story.
I watched the cooks yell at employees. And it was like one of the teenagers, like, you can't eat that. You can't have the salmon. And she yelled at him, pick something else. And I was just like, because I would eat the salmon. No, I wouldn't eat it
Sure.
often,
Yeah.
right? But when I first wanted to try, I wanted to try everything. But I remember she told him what he could and could not have. And that's
Yeah.
without George being there.
Wow,
Oh,
that's too funny.
Yeah.
Well,
And a lot of times, like when you're letting the servers try something, a lot of places will make like a bigger portion for
Yeah.
all the people that night. But then how many times you have to do that for all the other servers that are coming in other nights?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So just
true.
give them the regular portion, have them at it, tell them to enjoy it. Again, it's an appreciation thing that
Yeah.
the server feels, or the busters or whoever.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of time people ask busters, what's your favorite thing here? Because nobody really realizes to ask
the busser.
a busser. You know what I'm saying? They ask the servers, but it's almost like the servers are predisposed
I never
to tell
thought
you
about that.
something. But when you ask the busser, they're going to give you an honest answer.
Real honest, 'cause they don't give a shit. 'cause
Yeah,
they're
they're gonna
typically-
tell you,
Yeah.
Fact
it's
right
okay.
there. That's true.
So just to throw that out there.
Yeah,
Right.
good point. Ask your busser.
Restaurant Punk says, ask the busser what the best thing on the menu is.
Done.
Yeah, everyone knows that.
All right. Well, thank you for today.
Yep.
Peace out, everybody.
Until next time,
Bye.
Restaurant
Adios.
Punk out.
Get hyped up, let's go!
Jesus Christ. Maybe we need some
Welcome to another evening.
alcohol. Do we need alcohol? Well, we're not supposed oh, jeez.
How many fucking times are we going to clap? Jeez.
No mas. Stop it.
What you got? What do you want?